good people of the YouTube world and all who are watching this. I am Mackenzie901K. Today I thought it would be fun to do a video where we pretty much just read for an entire week and we see how much I can read. So I have recently become unemployed due to my job that I've had for the past 2 years. It ended. I have now decided to put forth my efforts to becoming a full-time booktube creator. In spirit of my job ending, I wanted to see how many books we could read this week. I'm also a little bit behind on my reading goal. I have, I think, 80 something books out of the 100 that I wanted to have read at this point. So I'm close, but not close enough with December looming. So I wanted to try to make some progress on my Goodreads goal this week. So hopefully we can read at least 5 or so books this week. So I do have, not really a TBR, but I do have a couple of books in my hand currently that I want to potentially pick up this week. These are both pretty short books. The first one that I have here is a manga, and that is Snow White and the Red Hare. I've actually owned this manga for, I think, about a year at this point, so I decided that I wanted to pick it up because Cass, aka Cassandra Lynn here on YouTube, actually picked this up in one of her recent vlogs. It sounds like something that I would really enjoy. The only thing that I know about it is that Shirugi, I think that's how I'll have to look and make sure I'm pronouncing that right, is running away from a prince because I think he wants to like marry her or something. I don't really know, but it sounds really interesting because I think there is a little bit of a romance in here. It's been a minute since I've picked up any type of manga. I've been reading more graphic novels recently, but it's been a minute since I picked up a manga. So I decided that we would pick this one up today. And then I also have The Hobbit here. And this one is because of both Katie and Cass. Cass recently picked this up in a video and it sounds just like a fun, whimsical time. And honestly, this is one of the main books that I wanted to read this fall, and this was actually also on my Summerween TBR. So I decided to pick it back up again. I have just heard that it is a cozy, fun time, so I'm very excited to get into this. Also, it is middle grade, I believe, which is kind of what I need this week where I'm trying to advance on my Goodreads goal. So I did pick this one up. As far as any other books, I mean, I do have books kind of like scattered everywhere that we could potentially pick up. Like I have the Inheritance Games, the Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes, just kind of everywhere. Lightlark, I don't know, we'll see. This is what we're starting with though, and then we will just see kind of where the week takes us. I do hope that I can just pick up shorter books. I don't really want to pick up anything too long. I thought about picking up the 4th Harry Potter book, but that book's a little bit long. Maybe we'll pick up the audiobook if we decide to pick that one up. I don't know, but we will see. But before we do any of that, I am actually, the reason I'm standing up, I'm getting ready to head to the library. I have to drop off some books that I've had out for way too long, so we're gonna drop those off. We may peruse the library a little bit. I don't know if there's really anything specific that I'm wanting to pick up, but we'll do a little perusal. See what's happening in the library. That's pretty much all that I've got planned for right now. That's it. That's all I got. I will talk to you guys in just a bit when I am back from the library. I did get back from the library. Sorry, the library clips are probably not as long as they typically are. There was a lot of people in the library today, and I felt very awkward just perusing around the aisles, having my camera out. Well, I didn't even use my camera. I used my phone that round because I was like, there is no way I can even pull my camera out with how many people are in here. But I did end up picking up 5 books, which is 5 more than I honestly planned to pick up, because I went into the library with the thought of, oh, I'm just gonna go in here to get some B-roll and to just peruse, you know, see if anything catches my eye, and quite a few books did. I picked up 6 books. Just kidding. The first book that I picked up was The Buried and the Bound. This is a young adult novel, and the only thing that really caught my attention was the sentence that says, with wood nymphs rescued palm-sized fairies from house cats and banished flesh-eating shadows from the local park. That's all I read, and I was like, okay, I am intrigued. This has a very unique cover, and also, sorry, I'm holding it like this. I'm trying to keep my library thing covered here. I've never heard of this book before, nor have I heard of this author, so I'm gonna have to do some digging to see if this is something that I will for sure enjoy. I'm very intrigued. It's honestly kind of giving love triangle with all of these characters, but who knows? The next books that I picked up were manga. I did pick up quite a bit of manga this time around. Don't ask me why, because honestly, I have no idea. But I did pick up quite a bit of manga. The first one that I picked up is Snow White with the Red Hair Volume 2. I wanted to pick this up just in case I wanted to continue with the Snow White and the Red Hair series. And I went in there and I seen that they had Volume 2 and 3, and I only decided to pick up 2 for right now. But I did also start Snow White and the Red Hair, but I didn't really read much of it. So I'm hoping to read some more of it tonight and finish it, and maybe potentially pick up the second volume. We will see though, but I did just want to have that on standby just in case I want to pick it up. And then the next manga that I picked up was a manga called Beyond the Clouds, The Girl Who Fell from the Sky. This manga, I think I seen Katie pick this up. You know, I'm not really sure who I seen pick this up. Katie sounds correct, but I don't know. I did pick it up, and I think it'll be very interesting. It does seem a little bit more kiddish though, so we shall see what I think. But I do really love the cover, minus the glare from what the library puts on it. I think that the cover is super duper cute, so I'm intrigued to see what this is gonna be all about. And then the next couple of manga that I picked up was a very interesting find, and I've never seen this before, but I am kind of very intrigued by this. I picked up Kiki's Delivery Service as manga, so it's split up into 2, and I have no idea what these are about. I don't know if they follow the screenplay or the book to a T, so we will just have to see what happens. Honestly, as I'm flipping through this kind of just looks like stills from Kiki's Delivery Service, which experiencing Kiki's Delivery Service in another format sounds so fun to me, and I'm very intrigued to see what they're about because I've never seen anybody talk about these before. If these are cool and interesting, I will have to pick some up for myself to have and add to my collection. And then the very last book that I picked up is The Games That Gods Play. Actually, it's just called The Games Gods Play. This is actually the large print edition. I seen this caught my eye on the way out of the library, so I picked it up. Did I need the large print edition? No. Am I still intrigued by it? Absolutely. So The only thing that I know is this is about the Greek gods. That's literally it. I think maybe it may be Hunger Games-esque. I'm not sure on that though. Nobody hold me to that. But yeah, I am very intrigued by this book. I have been intrigued by it since it came out, and it also, I believe, had some pretty like editions of it. Look at that font. It's huge, and it's also 800 pages with it being like this. You know, I kind of just wanted to try reading large print to see if it will make a difference in how I read. That's all the books that I picked up though in the haul. Quite a few interesting books to say the least. Definitely intrigued by the Kiki manga situation that we've got going on here. I really just believe that this is gonna be the like movie in a book, which, you know, I'm not mad at. I really love Kiki. I love Kiki's Delivery Service. It's my, I say this probably way too much, but it is my favorite Ghibli movie ever. You know, what more could you ask for? But how cute and sweet. And I can say that I have read Kiki's Delivery Service multiple times. I'm very excited. I miss Kiki so much. I thought about watching the movie, so maybe I can wait a little bit longer and just read the manga. That's it for my rant. So reading plans for tonight, I definitely think that I can get through Snow White and the Red Hair Volume 1. Potentially, maybe pick up Snow White and the Red Hair Volume 2. It just depends on how I'm feeling when I finish Snow White and the Red Hair. If not, maybe gonna start on The Hobbit, which I'm really excited for. For now though, the plans are reading Snow White and the Red Hair Volume 1 and potentially Volume 2 and picking up The Hobbit. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump into reading, and I will talk to you guys when I have yet another book update. Hello everybody. I do have not one but two reading updates, but don't get too excited because it's literally just Snow White and the Red Hair Volume 1 and Volume 2. When I picked this up yesterday at the library, I was like, there is not gonna be a way, there is no way right now on this earth that I can read both of these, and I nearly read both of them in one sitting. I'm not even gonna lie, these are kind of good. Right now I don't have a rating for the both of them. I think honestly I like this one a little bit more than this one, so I can give you a little bit of a better synopsis about it though. We are following our main character Shirayuki. So she has this glorious red hair, and because she has this red hair, this prince wants her to become his concubine, which is ridiculous, might I add. But she is like, there is no way on this earth that I'm going to become this man's concubine. Were you laughing? I heard
I was trying really hard to, but every time you say concubine, it just gets me. It did not mean what I thought it meant.
Did you have to Google it?
No, but when you told me, I don't know, I thought it was something completely different.
Anyway, so she decides to run away, and she runs into the woods, and she runs into this guy named, I think Zen. Yeah, okay. I forget his name every single time. It is Zen. So Zen actually shockingly, is a prince himself, which that's not really a spoiler. I'm not considering that a spoiler because it's literally like within the first chapter of this book that you find out that he's actually a prince too. And yeah, the story just kind of goes from there. So both of these were absolutely phenomenal and I want to read the third volume ASAP. I definitely think that this is more of like my speed of manga because I've read other manga before. I've read Witch Hat Atelier and I've also read Spy Family, and I do love Spy Family. Witch Hat Atelier I love to a point. I thought it was just too slow. Spy Family also, I found out some things about Spy Family that really angered me. And I'll just leave it at that. And if you've read the series, then you most definitely know what I'm talking about. This done it for me though. I was really impressed with this series so far. And I definitely want to read some more of this series soon. I really don't want to try to collect the manga series, but I think my library only has the first 3 books. And I only picked up the second one from the library, and I don't know when I'm going to be going back to the library again. So I think I may just order the 3rd volume and call it good. That's fine. There's 27 volumes. I can find room, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, I'll have to sit on a rating for these. I don't know what I'm going to give them. Typically, I don't rate manga unless it's like at least a 4.5 and above. I don't know why. That's just kind of always how I've handled manga, because I feel like when you go lower on the rating scale with manga, it's really hard to determine what makes it that lower of a rating, because again, it's only like portions of an entire story. So I don't know. We will see what I rate these though. I think definitely this one is my favorite though. That's my reading update. I think that tonight I really want to try to pick this up. I'm gonna try to read other things than manga in this video, but I picked these up yesterday. I just have kept looking at them because they just look so intriguing. I think that this is just the movie in manga form, which is fine. I mean, we may get a little bit more on Kiki and her journey. I don't know. I kind of hope so, because I wanted more Kiki content. But I mean, if it is just the movie in another format, I'm not going to complain. The movie is my favorite. So I thought about at least maybe potentially picking up the 1st volume tonight. It seems very, very short and quick to read. So I think I'm going to try to pick this up tonight. And then I also want to make some progress in The Hobbit. I know that I will definitely not be finishing The Hobbit tonight, but I want to try to make some progress. That's my updates for now. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. Also, if you didn't know from the interruptions, my friend Chloe's here. If you guys are an OG, you'll know Chloe. She's been in some previous vlogs before, but Chloe and I are just gonna vibe tonight. I don't really know what we're gonna get up to. I don't really know what we're gonna get up to. Maybe something, maybe nothing. Maybe we'll be in the bed in like an hour. You never know. I'm gonna go hang out with her and I'm gonna pick up these 2 things, and I will give you guys another update when I have read something fun. Hello everyone, happy Thanksgiving to my American friends. It is currently Thanksgiving right now. It's been a pretty chill day so far. You guys seen me do a little bit of cooking. I actually cooked a green bean casserole. Green bean casserole is actually one of my favorites, so comment down below what some of your guys' favorite Thanksgiving dishes is if you celebrate. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, just tell me what some of your favorite dishes are in general, because I'm always down to try some new recipes. Maybe tell me what, a staple at your Thanksgiving dinner is, something like that. So I do actually have not one, but 2 reading updates for you guys. So I have currently been reading The Hobbit, but I also picked up the first volume of the Kiki's Delivery Service manga version. Just kind of as I expected, this is exactly like the movie. I mean, I believe it is pretty much frame by frame what the movie was like, so of course I'm loving it. If you don't know what Kiki's Delivery Service is about, I talked about Kiki's Delivery Service, I feel like earlier this year, but Kiki's Delivery Service is following our main character Kiki. Kiki is a witch, and every year on a witch's 13th birthday they have to move out of their house for 1 year to continue their training, and they have to train kind of on their own. And so Kiki decides that one night she decides that she's ready. She's like, okay, it is time for me to head out. She discovers this new city, and this is like a much bigger city than I believe what she is kind of used to. So she finds this city and she's trying to figure out her way, things like that. But along the way she does end up creating a delivery service, hence why it's called Kiki's Delivery Service. But this one is just following like the very first part of Kiki's Delivery Service. Yeah, I'm not going to give this a rating just because I don't feel like it deserves one, but I will say that I did enjoy it. I mean, it is just a very small portion of the overall story of Kiki's Delivery Service, so I don't really think that it needs a rating. The story as a whole is my favorite Ghibli movie. I think I've already said that, but it's my favorite. 5 out of 5 stars across the board for Kiki's Delivery Service. I did really enjoy this one. I love being back in this world, and I honestly need to pick up the second one. So we will probably pick up the second one soon because I did get it as well. You guys did see me haul it a little bit earlier in this video. Now for my thoughts on The Hobbit. Really enjoying The Hobbit so far. This one we are following Bilbo Baggins, and Bilbo is just your average ordinary hobbit. One day Gandalf shows up to his door and is like, hey, I need you to go on this trip with me. And then they have this tea party. They declare him, I think they call him the Bandit or something like that. So they then go on this journey, and Bilbo kind of gets separated from them, and then he discovers this ring. And if you know the Lord of the Rings story, this is like the prequel to the Lord of the Rings story, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it is a very wholesome, cozy story. I am really loving the adventure. I am enjoying that this is super duper fast paced. I was afraid that this was going to be a bit of a slower book. Also, not reading this physically, I am listening to the dramatized version of the audiobook, which I'm loving. I love it. Like, the audiobook experience, 10 out of 10. I personally love the dramatized versions of audiobooks. I think that because I imagine so much while I'm reading, I think that they just allow my imagination to like run wild, and it really feels like you're watching a movie like in your brain, which is such a cool experience. I believe that this was supposed to be like, or the dramatized version was supposed to be like for the radio. I'll have to look and see see when it came out, but I thought that that was interesting as well because I don't believe it's like a newer dramatized version. So very interesting with that. I'm still having such a good time with this, and I cannot wait to continue this, and I will be continuing to listen to this throughout the rest of the day. I think I only have a couple of hours left in the audiobook. That's enough of me rambling about The Hobbit. So plans for this evening, I honestly don't really have many. I know that I for sure want to get through the rest of the Hobbit audiobook. I definitely think that I want to play a game of some sort. What game that'll be, I don't know, but I have really been wanting to play something. I definitely do know for sure that I want to read the second manga part, whatever you want to call it, of Kiki's Delivery Service because it was just so short. I read this in probably like 30 minutes because it is so short. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for right now. I will keep you all updated on what book I pick up next. It's gonna be something fun still, but I just don't know what exactly it's gonna be. I'm gonna go finish up cooking, and I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Hello everybody, so I am back. I kind of took a impromptu bookstore trip. It was definitely not planned. Also, my bookstore has not been carrying any of the books that I've been going to look for lately, and it's kind of making me sad, I'm not gonna lie. But I did still find some books. So I did pick up 3 books. I don't really have a preface for the reasoning behind these books or anything like that. So I did, however, go in there looking for some specific books. So I went in there looking for the next few volumes of Snow White with the Red Hair. They didn't have a 1. They quite literally just had the first volume, and that was it. Did not get that. And I also went in there and looking for the Sword of Kagan. I seen Katie talk about this recently, and she read the back of the book, and the description of the book, or not the description, somebody's like blurb on the back of the book said that it was similar to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I was sold. From there, sold. So I really want to pick that one up, but I did discover that that book is on KU, so I wasn't too disappointed that I didn't get that one. However, I was disappointed that I did not get to pick up the next few volumes of Snow White with the Red Hair. Alas, it is okay. I have since ordered them on Pango. Those will be here eventually. But as far as what I got today, the first book that I got was this one. This is called The West Wind by Alexandria Warwick. I don't really know what this book is about, honestly. I picked it up today, and this was the first time I'd ever seen it before was today. The only thing that I really got out of this is that she kind of embarks on a journey with a guy. She never wants to be like touched by a guy. And there's fair folk in this as well. That intrigued me. This is apparently also inspired by the Greek myth of a hero and a lender in the Scottish ballad Tamlin. I don't know what I'm getting myself into with this. If anybody has read this, tell me what you think. And also, if this is not the first book in the series, also tell me that as well. I'm gonna have to do some research just to make sure that this is the first book in this series, and if not, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it. Yeah, it just kind of sounded like a whimsical sort of kind of adventure type of romantic fantasy or fantasy romance. So I don't know, I picked this one up on a whim. But anyway, the next book that I picked up was this beautiful edition of Muse of Nightmares, and I got this for a bargain deal of $6.97. So I was very impressed with this because this is actually the copies of Strange the Dreamer that I like. These are the US editions, but they're the hardcover, and it is really pretty. So this is the second book in the Strange the Dreamer series by Lonnie Taylor. This is what the under the dust jacket looks like. And the reason that I picked this one up is because I'm actually planning on picking up Strange the Dreamer really soon. I wanted to have a copy of Muse of Nightmares, and also I did pick up the matching because my copy does not match. My copy is a paperback copy and it's the UK edition, but I did pick up the matching copy of Strange the Dreamer on Pango as well. So that will hopefully also be here in a couple of days. I just thought this edition of Muse of Nightmares is so pretty. I do love this edition of Strange the Dreamer as well. So I decided to get this to have, and I'm very excited to read this series because I've heard so many great things about Strange the Dreamer. And then the last book that I picked up, my mom actually picked this up, and I am so excited to read this because if you guys know me, if you've been here for a second, or if you literally just watched an earlier clip in this video, you will know that I am obsessed with anything Snoopy, Charlie Brown related, and my mom also is too. So we picked up this. It's called Snoopy Cowabunga. It has a flip book animation in it, and I will show you guys that. I love Snoopy. I am Snoopy obsessed. Snoopy has been my whole childhood. Picking this up was a no-brainer for me. I love the comic strip art style in here, and also here is the, am I doing it justice? Hopefully you guys get the idea. But yeah, the actual like story is comic strip. It gives very much comic strip, and I'm obsessed. So like that's what it looks like on the inside. It is so cute. I'm so excited to read this at some point, probably in the near future, because I'm Snoopy obsessed. And yeah, that is my 3 books that I picked up for the book haul. I am also going to give a mini update on The Hobbit. So I did pick up The Hobbit a little bit more last night and today. I have been listening to it, and I officially have 56 minutes left of The Hobbit, and I'm really enjoying. This is the version of The Hobbit that I'm listening to. This is the dramatized version of The Hobbit, and it is so fun. I feel like if you are looking to get into The Hobbit and read it, then this may be, if you don't actually want to sit down and read the book, because to me, J.R.R. Tolkien, his writing can at times be very flowery. Sometimes I find it to be just a little bit hard to get into, where he makes his world so like diverse. It's very immersive writing, but it's very flowery. I do find it hard sometimes to get into the story when it's like that, but this, where it has a full cast and it has the sound effects and things like that, this I feel is a much more digestible audible version of The Hobbit. So if you're looking to read The Hobbit, get into The Hobbit, I highly recommend the dramatized version. It is really, really good. I'm still loving it. I'm having such a great time reading The Hobbit. The dramatized version has, I think it was done earlier, so I think it is a bit older. I have no complaints about that. I love the old style like movies and just the audible dialogue that you would have had back in like the 1900s. I really love the old style voice narration. I think that it is really fun. I think plans for tonight for me is going to be finishing up The Hobbit. I have less than an hour to go in The Hobbit, and then I am going to also, while I'm listening to The Hobbit, I really want to pick up my Switch and play something, because it's been a few weeks at least since I've played anything on my Switch. As for other reading plans, I'm still yet to pick up the second volume of Kiki's Delivery Service, so I think that's what I'm gonna do as well tonight. I'm gonna try to pick it up, and then I also maybe want to start a new book. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and go. I've been talking for way too long in this clip. I'm gonna continue listening to The Hobbit, and I'm going to pick up my Switch and play some sort of something. I will talk to you guys in just a bit.
Seemed an age.
Hello guys, so I do have some final reading updates. I did get up to quite a bit of reading, so I want to talk about the first book that you guys seen me kind of end off the last clip with, and that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. So I do have some final thoughts on it. So overall, I think that I really did enjoy The Hobbit. I think that The Lord of the Rings is still more of my favorite than The Hobbit, and it's just because I feel like The Hobbit was, you know, it was what it was supposed to be. It was an introductory book. You got to learn more about Bilbo, you know, kind of the origin of how Bilbo found the ring and things like that. So it was very much an introductory book, but I feel like this was just what it was supposed to be, and that is an introductory book into the world of the Lord of the Rings. With that being said, I think I'm gonna give this book a 4-star. I honestly really liked it. I liked learning about Bilbo and seeing his journey and seeing him step out of his shell. You really see him do like a complete 180 by the time the book ends. You know, in the beginning of the book, like I kind of stated earlier, he's really just this simple hobbit. He has always kind of lived this simple hobbit life, but when Gandalf one day shows up to his doorstep, his world kind of gets flipped. I mean, you really overall just see Bilbo just change. You also get to see some notable characters from the Lord of the Rings series like Gandalf, Gollum, people like that. I was really impressed. I think that while it is a very standard book, it still had a lot of good insight and building to the world of Lord of the Rings. That's kind of my thoughts on The Hobbit. I'm really impressed overall with this book, and I would highly recommend, and I would read again because it was really fun. Then I also decided to pick up, like I said, the second volume of Kiki's Delivery Service. Again, I don't think that I'm gonna give this a rating just because because it is only a very small portion of the overall plot of Kiki's Delivery Service. So in this one, you kind of get to see Kiki set up her delivery service, and you get to see her go on her first delivery and things like that. Overall, it's a 5-star series, or it's a 5-star movie. It is a 5-star thing all around, movie, book, manga overall. But I just feel like this individual manga, I cannot give it a rating because it's just a small portion of Kiki's Delivery Service. So that's my thoughts on this. I would like to continue picking up Kiki's Delivery Service in this format because I feel like you can really just slow down with this and take in Kiki's Delivery Service in like a new level. You're not really like trying to forcibly watch it. You can, you know, enjoy it in your own pace while it is still just the movie in manga form. It gives it a new way to experience it, and that's what I am enjoying about it, is that I get to experience Kiki's Delivery Service again for the first time. Not really, but sorta kinda in this format. And then the very last book that I did pick up that I did kind of sort of mention at the beginning of the video is I did pick up Lightlark. So I have actually read Lightlark before. You guys know, if you are an OG, then you may have seen me pick up Lightlark, I believe in 2022. I think that was the year that it had first came out. I was very intrigued by Lightlark when it had come out because there was so much controversy surrounding Lightlark, because before it was released there was this whole big thing about Lightlark becoming like a movie, and then it had come out that Lightlark wasn't exactly what the author had said it was, or something like that. It was a whole big controversial mess. I wanted to read it to get my 2 cents of it and see if I actually would enjoy Lightlark. I think I ended up giving it at that round a 3.5 star, or maybe a 3.25. I can't really remember, but I remember giving it a lower rating just because I felt like it wasn't what I wanted it to be, and it was just not it for me at the time. I still enjoyed it for the most part from what I can remember, but I just remember not loving it like I had originally thought I was going to when I first heard about Lightlark and things like that. So now today though, I decided that I wanted to pick up Lightlark again, just specifically because I wanted to give it another try, because I've seen so many people reading this series recently. I wanted to continue this series, so I have the 2nd book and I just recently picked up the 3rd book, so I wanted to continue this series. I knew at that point in time when I had originally read it that I wanted to continue the series, but it has been 2 years since I read this book. I didn't really remember a lot of this book like I thought I was going to. For a synopsis for this book, this is following our main character Isla, and Isla has to go to this trial on this island called Lightlark. I think it's every 100 years this trial happens, and she meets these other rulers of these other realms. She is a wildling, that is her realm, and she has a secret of her own that she's trying to keep from everybody, because if this secret were to get out, it would be detrimental to not only her but her people. She's also been very sheltered her whole life. She's been kept away from everything. She's also friends with one of the other contestants, but they try to keep their friendship under wraps. You're going through this story with Isla, and it is really just a story about deception and how everybody's kind of at war with everybody, and they're supposed to, I think, kill one of the rulers in order to complete this curse. This has been such an interesting book. I will say that I still kind of think this book it's a young adult book, so I really didn't expect it to be anything crazy, and you know, it reads like young adult. This time around, I'm finding this book much more charming, and I think that this book is a lot of fun. It's very bingeable. It also, the first time that I read it, it was very bingeable for me then too. It has a good storyline. I will say that some of the names and things like that are a bit cringy, and the whole star stick situation that Isla has is very interesting, and I still want to know what a star stick is supposed to look like, because at this point I'm picturing the little star stick that you get in Animal Crossing. But other than that, I mean, it's fun. There's nothing really negative, or at least in my opinion, nothing really negative about the book. It follows a very basic storyline. You get introduced to these interesting characters. There's a good group of characters, I will say. I think Alex Astor really built up these characters very well and gave them very interesting storylines. So I'm interested to see where this series goes as a whole. So I am actually not fully finished with this book. I think I maybe have a little bit over 150 pages left to go, but I'm not going to be finishing this book in this video, but I will be finishing it, so you guys will get to hear my full thoughts on this book soon. I'm pretty much enjoying it more this time than I did the first time. I think honestly right now I kind of want to bump up my rating to a 4-star. Like, I am enjoying it quite a bit. It's definitely still not a 5-star by any means, but I do definitely think that I am really enjoying this book this time around, and I cannot wait to see what happens with Isla and this plot and where it goes. And I think there's a love triangle as well starting to form, so very intrigued by this. And with that being said, I do want to kind of just sum up the other 3 books that we read in this video. The first one being Kiki's Delivery Service Volume 1. Again, not giving this one a rating just because I feel like this is just a portion of the story. Overall, the story is a 5-star, but I cannot just rate the individual manga. It feels wrong. It feels wrong, and it kind of feels like a disservice for Kiki's Delivery Service. So, and then we also picked up Snow White and the Red Hair Volume 1 and Snow White and the Red Hair Volume 2. This is probably my favorite manga series that I've read this far. I'm really intrigued by it, and I definitely cannot wait until the 3rd and 4th volumes get here, so that way I can continue to read this series. I don't think I'm going to give this series a rating either, just because nothing has really like stuck out for me. And like I've kind of spoke about before, I don't really rate manga unless it's like at least a 4.5 or above. These weren't really 4.5s. If I had to give them a rating, I would give them both a 4-star. I'm invested. I'm excited to see where this story goes. I think that the love story plot is going to be so good. I am very excited to continue this, but I don't necessarily think that this series needs a rating. That is all of the books that we read in today's video. We read 6 books. I'm very impressed with that because I have been battling a reading slump for the past little bit, and it feels like I definitely have accomplished quite a bit of reading this week. So I definitely think that we are on the right track to completing the reading goal. So with Lightlark added into the mix, we are officially at 88 books read for the year, and it is currently December 1st. So we are almost there. I need to read 12 books in December, which is doable. I will say it's doable, but hopefully we'll get there. We're getting down to the wire with the reading goal, and I think that we will definitely finish it. I think I can definitely finish it, especially with me finding a manga series that I am super duper enjoying. I will probably read quite a bit of it to help the reading goal. So yeah, I think we've done quite a good amount of reading in this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. That being said, thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down below if you guys have read any of the books that I have read. If you've read anything and you would like to share your thoughts, if we have the same thoughts or some maybe differing thoughts, comment down below and let's chat about the books. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Helps out the channel, makes my heart smile. You know how it be around here, and also make sure to tap that subscribe button. We try to upload around here every Sunday and Thursday at 6 p.m. EST. That does not always happen. Make sure you tap that post notification bell so you will be notified right when I upload a video. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.